Your vision needs to be bigger than you can ever imagine, because what you think your vision is now, you don't know what it's going to be in 10 years. Welcome to Livestream. I'm your host, Dr. Alex Plains, with my co-host, Jeremy Applegate. Welcome, Jeremy. How you doing today?
Doing great. I'm excited about today's topic.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What are we talking about today?
Vision.
Oh, it's one of my favorites.
I bet it is. Let's talk about that. So why are you such a visionary? How do you understand vision?
Well, it's always like, I'm always, what's funny is that you say that is because this last year, I've changed my vision already twice.
Yeah.
So as a company, we continue to outgrow our vision that we were supposed to meet by 2025 and 2030. So, we're moving in the right direction, obviously, but you got to continue. Your vision needs to be bigger than you can ever imagine, because what you think your vision is now, you don't know what it's going to be in 10 years.
It's got to be bigger than you.
It has to be much bigger than you. Like Grant Cardone says, his vision used to be, I'm going to be billionaire in the making. Now is trillionaire in the making. So, and
crazy.
Grant is 64 now. So he's always growing that vision. And it's okay to change your vision,
Sure.
As you know, we're working on a lot of different projects, Livestream U coming soon, Implants for All, coaching and mentoring, and Plains Dental Partners. But we're always evolving and coming up with creative ways to grow that vision.
I think that's important. I think you hit it on the head there, being flexible, because you do understand that things are going to change. And, growth is going to happen quicker on some visions and other visions. And, that's part of being flexible and adaptable.
But you cannot only have this vision, right? You gotta write it down. And you got to come up with a plan.
Yeah.
You just can't say, I want a vision that I want to own 100 multifamily properties. Okay, but how are you going to do it? What are you going to do to get the down payment? What banks are going to finance you? How are you going to prove that you have enough support to manage all these multifamily homes or all these dental practices or medical practices, whatever your field that you're in? You need to have a strategy behind it. And to be a successful entrepreneur, you got to strategize. Like for me, I'm not the type of person that really writes everything down, to be honest with you. I just basically do an outlook in my mind of an image or images, and it's like a movie. And I basically draw it all out in my mind, and then I have like either you or one of our managers draw it out for me and organize it.
I think that's one of the biggest failures with individuals is they have all these great visions, but they don't ever create a plan for that vision.
How many times haven't you heard of people say, I had an idea?
Yeah, I had an idea.
And if I would have done this idea, this guy just sold it for $20 million.
I mean, I victimized myself on that.
Really?
So, yeah, I definitely, you come up with this product, you're like, hey, man, that might work. And then all of a sudden, a year later, the product is out there.
The product is out there.
And it's all because you didn't organize your vision.
Or you didn't pursue it.
Both.
So, if you had a recommendation for people that listen to this podcast and they're like, hey, Doc, Jeremy, I'm already like 60 years old. What vision do I have right now? I'm just ready to retire and play with my grandkids and vacation.
I think when you get to a point where you're almost ready to retire, I think you still need to have vision and you still need to make a plan. Like, okay, that's great. You want to go travel. You want to go hang out with the grandkids. Well, how are you going to do that?
Yeah, how do you plan to afford it?
Yes.
You have
when
to
is,
afford
when is
it.
that going to happen? Are you going to do that in the next 5 years, 1 year, 6 months, 10 years?
Have you have you ever had a conversation with a financial advisor before?
Yes.
How organized are those guys?
Those guys are crazy organized.
But they come out with not only a 5-year plan, a 10-year plan, 25 years, and even till the average death for a man is 84 now and a female is 86. They are basically letting you know how much money you need to produce for all these years till you can retire at your target age.
Yep.
See, my target age to retire was 40. Now I pushed it to 50.
Because your vision changed.
Well, inflation, it's a son of a bitch right now. So
That's true too.
so we got to be able to deal with the changes in the economy and the global world, right? So, the vision can always change, and I'm excited about all these new things that we're working on.
Yeah, me too.
So sometimes you just need to be excited about what you're doing.
I agree. That's part of, you have to be passionate about your vision. You got to be excited. You got to be passionate. And I think you have to have support too. You have to have support from your wife, from your spouse, from your family.
That's a great point. Yes, you definitely need to be supported in every angle, especially with those that are closest to you.
Yeah, for sure.
Because there's going to be bad days, and you're going to be rejected by banks. You're going to lose key employees. You're going to think you had it all figured out. It's kind of like that story when in 2018, when me and Dr. Chupp decided to do this venture in Orlando, and I thought I had the key elements. I had all the recipes. I had a game plan. Guess what? Huge curveball came, and I lost 4 of the key element players to that game plan.
Yep.
And I had to think outside the box. But my vision didn't change. I didn't back out of any other leases I had signed up there. I continued to pursue the vision that I had, which was to have 10 dental practices by 2022, and we're there right now.
We're there. No, there's no doubt about that. And I think that's part of the flexibility of a vision. I think it doesn't. I think sometimes people think being flexible is they're associating that in a negative context. But, being flexible with a vision is not necessarily being negative. Like, we've proven that. Growth has created a situation where the vision has had to change. Not the other way around where the vision didn't work. So I need to reinvent the vision.
Yeah, you got to be adaptive to the vision, and you got to make changes that are assertive, and you got to eliminate the fears that what about if I don't do it? I remember when I wrote my first vision statement, actual written vision statement, close to 2 years ago, and I was scared to write it.
Yeah,
because I was like, what about if I can't do this? But I knew that I had to write it down and look at it at least a couple times a week to realize that this is where I want to be.
Manifestation too.
Manifestation. So if in Vero, we have that mantra wall that I decided to create where, every single week I write something inspirational out there. And, it's funny because I've had assistants, OMs, front desk, every key employee in the organization come and be like, Dr. Plains, it's amazing what you did in this wall. Every time I'm down, I come and I read it, and it changes my day. Yeah,
and they always want to look at what you wrote down this week, and it's true because the vision that you are portraying, it's beyond you. So you're influencing our team, to jump on board on that vision as well.
That's correct. See, like now my vision is not even that much even about me anymore. It is about me, but my vision is also what legacy brand am I going to leave for my children? Am I going to be living a brand that, that is gone, or do I want to leave a legacy brand that my children could transmit over to my grandchildren or my great-grandchildren? So for me, it's just like I am the first family member that has done, got a doctorate, builds businesses, and it's growing the way that I've grown. And I cannot fail in that option.
No, failure's not an option. You learn from failure. Everybody says you learn from failure, but when you have a vision and you have determination and compassion and passion and all those things, just failure is not an option.
Yeah, it's nice that when you go to like the grocery store, you can get your kids, the cereal they like. Yeah. It's like I told you the last time, like I literally spent like over 2 months just eating eggs and rice at one point in my life. And it's not no one's fault. As both of my grandparents lost their job. My grandfather had this amazing idea of getting a job right away that he didn't like, and he quit, and then he lost his unemployment. So my grandmother was holding the whole household by herself, cleaning houses and working 3 to 4 different jobs a week.
The struggle is real. And I think the struggle creates a situation where the vision has more value and impact, in your life, because, you've been in those situations. And failure is not an option because I am not going to be able to put my family into that situation. And, this is the vision I'm going to take on my personal side is I'm going to build that legacy.
Let me ask you a question. And you can be honest, right? So, we're working on all these different projects right now, and I see a different glow in you. Like you're very, very excited about this new trajectory that we're heading as a company. When you started realizing all these ideas that I had, how did it impact your vision?
Well, I think my vision changed too. I mean, I flexed my vision because, we need to be aligned, right? And it was an easy flex because, we both are passionate about business. We both love starting new ventures. We both love all that stuff that goes with it. We love the challenges, and of building the plan and strategically working through all those situations. So yeah, I mean, I got excited.
You got excited.
I got excited.
I know. I saw it. You got really excited, and I think the whole team is excited.
I think so too.
When I spoke to my wife about what I'm working with the Implants for All coaching and mentoring program, she was like, "Wow, you're going to be able to impact a lot of lives, not only patient lives, but doctors' lives." And I'm more excited to talk about that. But that's a different vision.
Yep.
So in Livestream we have this vision. In Implants for All, we have this vision, and in Plains Dental Partners, we have this vision.
You're reading my mind because there's nothing wrong with having multiple visions. Like you can't have the same vision for the same company that or business that you're trying to establish. If you're like us, you're a multi-business organization. You definitely need to have a different vision for each entity.
And you got to stay focused on your vision constantly. And there's many times that you feel like giving up.
Yeah.
And I feel that, like you said, you need to have the support, and you have to have supportive family members. Your spouse needs to support you, and hopefully you're lucky enough to have good friends that are going to support you throughout the whole process.
That's true. Personal life support is a very, very important, but, we can't leave out professional support either. We have to have each other. We have to have Kevin. We have to have Alexis. We have to have Christy and Kim. We got to have all these people that are part of our team, there to pick each other up.
That's right.
And knowing that the vision is the goal.
Yeah, we spend more time with each other than we do with our family.
I know. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. No, it's a good thing. It's a good thing.
So yeah, at the end of the day, you gotta always be open to changing your vision, and you gotta stay aligned with your goals. And I recommend every entrepreneur right now to start working on their mission, their vision, and their values as soon as they can, and display it. Display it to their customers, display it to their team members. Have a powwow with the group and let them know, hey guys, this is my mission, this is my vision, and these are my values, and this is what we're going to do together, and make them feel part of it.
I think that's awesome that you said it that way, because I feel like sometimes entrepreneurs, that's not a priority for them because they don't know what that vision is. Just write something down. Just write it down because it's going to change. So write something down, start it with your own personal values, right? And create that and put that into your vision, and then alter that. Yeah. I mean, if you are not building a vision in the beginning, you're limiting yourself, and you have to also understand that this is bigger than you.
Yeah. And one thing I always get upset about, or it kind of, ticks me off, is like when you share your vision with someone that you think you can trust, and they immediately start knocking down your vision.
Yeah.
Don't listen to those people, because at the end of the day, the majority of the people, unfortunately, are going to want you to not hit your vision because they're not doing it. They didn't think of it. So you got to continue pushing it, because at the end of the day, it's for you and your family, and like I said, building generational wealth.
Yep.
Like George was saying, when he started talking about creating this coin, he went through, challenges, and at the end of the day, he's like, no, I'm going to do this. And, and he's pushing through all the people and the naysayers telling him, no, you cannot build this coin. This coin is bogus or whatnot,
Yep.
but he continues to stay motivated and inspirational about his product.
That's a gem right there. That's a gem. Keep the noise out.
How many times do we hear people saying, "Oh, Dr. Plains, that vision is nonsense. There's no way you're going to be able to do that. There's absolutely no way you're going to be able to accomplish that."
I guarantee you that creates fire. So I tell you what, all the haters keep saying you can't do that. Keep saying it. Let's go.
You got to put those hater shades on.
Yeah, let's go. I mean, keep telling us we can't do it because we're going to do it.
You
got
got
to do it
to
bigger.
you got to do it because you got to stay. The reason I feel that we're going to do everything we say we're going to do, God willing, is because we're going to stay motivated.
Yep.
We're going to stay motivated. We're going to stay inspired, and we're going to always focus. And when we have bad days, we're going to have great people around us that are going to let us know that, hey, we're going to get this done. We're not going to give up.
Correct. I think that's the most important thing too. I think that's the most important thing too. So, you have to establish your vision. You have to establish that in the beginning, right? Whatever you're selling, whatever organization you're building, whatever business you're creating, it doesn't make a difference. You have to make that a priority, okay? You can't wait 1 year, 6 months, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years down the road and then decide, I'm going to do mission, vision, values. That's just not how it works. How can you hire people? You want to hire people that are aligned with you.
That's a great point, Jeremy.
So if you don't have a mission, vision, values in place, how do you know you're hiring the right people?
That is correct. It's like, with Cardone Ventures, like you go there and they focus extremely on personality styles, and they give their vision and their mission and their values right off the get-go in the interview process.
Yep.
And they ask you, are you aligned with these visions? And one of the tests that they do to all their employees is that they randomly ask them what their values are, what the values of the company is. And if they can't answer it, they got a problem.
They got a real problem.
They got a real problem. So I made the mistake. I didn't know any better, right? So I didn't do my mission, vision, values till 6 years after I opened up my first practice. I didn't even understand the importance of that. And if I would have known what I know now back then, obviously it's like buying Tesla stock when Tesla was at $4 or $5, right? So, at the end of the day, if I would have done it back then, I probably would have done better hires. I would have recruited a little different, and I probably will be, 10 folds ahead of where I am now.
And I think that we would have more team members, like long tenured team members too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think so too.
So how do you get the team engaged in this vision? Like, you can have this amazing vision, but how do you get the team engaged in this vision that aligns with them, their goals? Like we talk always, people are just thinking about the present. They're not focused on a 3, 5, 10-year plan. So how do we get them to be focused on this vision long term?
I think that's a challenge, and I think that there's not a great answer to that. To be honest with you, if I'm being honest, I think it's an individual basis. Like, we can talk about the 5-year plan, the 5-year vision with Kevin differently than we talk to Christy and Kim, differently than we talk to, an office manager on the partner side. It's a situation where it's just difficult. It's just really difficult, but you have to be consistent. I think consistency is the most important thing.
One of the best recommendations, that's a great point, Jeremy. I think one of the best recommendations is they got to be aligned.
Yeah.
Even if it's not exactly what they want, it's the same thing, but they got to be aligned with your vision.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, thank you so much, Jeremy. It's been great having you, like always. This is another episode. You can follow us at Dr. Alex A. Plains on our YouTube channel, Spotify, and podcast. Thank you so much.